Hello folks, this is Attorney Sharp Raleigh and we're going to discuss about the how to extend your visitor visa and the B1 B2 visa. As you can see here, the B1 B2 visa is a visa that pretty much covers what we call the when you come to the United States as a visitor or you come as a business owner. And here we go. The B1, B2 is what controls the those kind of cases. And when you go for the stamping, they will give you usually a multiple entry stamp or visa on your passport. But when you enter the United States, it's not that that the multiple that 10 year. For example, let's say they give you a 10-year stamp on your passport, doesn't mean you can stay 10 years in the United States. At the airport, they will give you something called an I-94 form, and that I-94 form is usually for 3 months or 6 months, and that's what's going to control your stay in the United States. So at this point, you're eligible to stay up to 3 months or 6 months, depending on the case. Let's say it is 6 months, but after when you reach close to 6 months or before the 6 month, you decide that you want to stay a little bit longer. So in order for you to stay longer, you have to file an extension of stay, which is the form I-539, application to extend and exchange non-immigrant status, and that will extend your I-94, and you can get this form on the USCIS website. So few tips. When can you file that extension? You have to file it before the I-94 time expires. Even one day before is okay, but you cannot file it after. If you're filing it after, unless you can prove some very extraordinary circumstance, you will not be eligible to get an extension. In my career, I've seen only few of those extraordinary circumstances getting approved. One of them was because that person got into an abusive situation and things like that. But it is very rare that they will accommodate you on that. One recommendation is to file 60 days before the I-94 expires. I'll tell you why, or the reason why, a little bit later on this slide. So the documents that you have to provide with the I-539 form give a good explanation why you want to stay. For example, some people want to visit more places, some people have family emergencies, some people have some business emergencies. And by the way, the B1, B2, B1 visa is not a working visa. It's good for business to prospect business, but you cannot work on it technically. And then you have to also provide documents that you are going to go back. That's the non-immigrant intent, such as property, letters of employment. Get a letter maybe from your employer from abroad. If you're from India, Pakistan, China, just get a letter that your employer is willing to wait for you. And then of course you pay the appropriate fees. At this point in time, I think it's $290, but it might change by the time you watch the slide. So now, the risk of filing the B1 B2 extension. If an extension is approved, everything is well, you continue staying, you'll be all set. But how about if it gets denied? If it gets denied, then you have a problem because you start accruing unlawful presence as from the date that previous I-94 expires. For example, let's say it expires on June 30th, 2016. You file an extension around beginning of June, and by you didn't get an answer until end of July. If you get an answer is positive end of July, you're fine, you continue normally. But if it gets denied July 30th, that means you accrue 30 days of unlawful presence, which is not good when it comes to, which is not that bad as long as it doesn't pass 180 days. There are some rules of 180 days, 365 days. I have not mentioned it here, but at this point you have to leave the country. But the risk of unlawful presence is bigger when it comes to the multiple entry visa stamp, which is on your passport. There's a chance they will actually um, basically cancel that, revoke that stamp on your passport, which is by operation of law. So it is important that taking the risk of doing this extension might not be a good idea. One option that people take also, for example, people come to the United States and they want to extend. They go, many times they have family or friends or business in Canada or Mexico. They will go outside, and when they come back at the airport, they might revalidate the time what is left on the I-94. But if there's no time, they might give them an extra time because they have a multiple entry visa. Then you don't need to file the form I-539. You just leave the country and you come back. But that's risky because at the airport they might not let you in, stating that why you want to come back now, you spend already so much time here. So all these are not risk free. So I will recommend that if you need help on any of those, you contact a good attorney. And of course, this slide is not covering changing status to F1 visa, H visa, but it's specifically limited to the B1 B2 visa, and anything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any questions, and you can call us 510-742-5887. This presentation was done by attorney Sharp Raleigh, immigration lawyer in California. And if you need help, of course, visit www.piralilaw.com. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with another video soon.